Now let's take a quick step back here because
Sure.
you had the surgery and everything, but there has to be this point where you realize that what you had done in your teeth may be linked to everything. Did you share that with others? Did you share that with doctors, your medical team, that hey, I'm thinking that this is something to do with a toxicity and an infection? I've had root canal. How many root canals did you have?
I had four root canal teeth, and then I did have a very large crowned tooth that was next to one of the root canal teeth that had an infection at the tip. And then I had four cavitations, which are where my wisdom teeth had been removed. A cavitation is a site that is contained within the bone. The bone is kind of healed around infection and
Yep.
is closed off, but it's still, those bacteria are still in there churning out their toxins. And so where all four of my wisdom teeth had been removed, those four sites. So I had 9 sites total of infection.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. And I guess what I'm getting at is where were the dentists, the doctors, and all these people for all these years that no one could even make that correlation? You had to do it. Did anyone out there even bring this up to you, or was this all you that had to find this out?
Yeah, it was completely me. No one knew or suggested that. And uh, my GP, my general practitioner doctor, when I talked to him about it, um, he was receptive in that, if you want to check that out and get diagnosed, I don't see any harm in doing that. Um, but he didn't know anything about it. And I looked for a biological dentist in my area. Um,
They're hard to find. They're
they
not
are.
everywhere. They're not
And
everywhere.
Cleveland is a very big medical town, but it's very conventional. It's not always holistic and alternative. But there's a couple of dentists here, and I have found someone who is very good locally, but at the time there wasn't anyone that I knew of, and I was willing to travel. But from all the research and all the studying I did, there really wasn't anyone who knew about root canal treated teeth being a problem.
I mean, in many ways, you're incredibly fortunate to have this background, to have this openness. Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of people out there that if they were in your position, they had to figure this out on their own, that they may not ever get there. Too many people now just see teeth as completely separate. You could have a root canal, you could pull it out. It ain't gonna. It's totally separate from the rest of your body, and there is no connect. And that's shocking to them, I think, to even hear that
Yes.
this sort you're talking about being can't even sit up. Sometimes you can't speak, you can't, it's hard to swallow at times, you can't move, you got fatigued moving anywhere. I mean, these are serious complications.
Yeah,
And
I had no life, really. I
right.
mean, root canal teeth took my life from me, for a decade, and I was determined. I will tell you, I think attitude, if you're someone who has a mystery illness or a
Yep.
chronic illness, I think attitude is very important. Um, I told everyone who would listen to me, I'm going to get better someday. And some people would look at me like I had,
Yep.
some kind of creatures crawling out of my ears. Like, well, okay, good good for you, good for you. They would, say, you could tell they did not think I was ever leaving my house. And I knew. I didn't know how. But I knew that I was going to get better. And I just continued to look for the answer, and I continued to try things. And I am really lucky in that I've always been interested in herbs and natural ways of healing. And I have spent a lot of time educating myself, and I had a comfort level going into that, using those modalities where some people would be, afraid, oh, if I take this herb, I'm going to get something. You know, I don't wonder if something's going to bother me if I take it. I look it up on the internet and see if there's any side effects. Is it oxytocin? Is it a metabolic herb? Is it going to, meaning, is it going to cause me to get my period if I take this, or is it going to make me bleed? Does it cause headaches? Does it cause digestive distress? Very important. I don't just wonder about those things, I would find the answer. I don't just worry that something's going to make me sick. I go and look for the answer. So we have the ability to doctor ourselves and take care of ourselves. Not everybody does, because this is, for example, my medical condition is complicated, and you do have to be able to read certain things. And this is why it is important that we do have doctors who are willing to do these kind of treatments, so that folks who you shouldn't have to do what I did to get better, that there is someone you can go to who is an expert. And even now in my recovery, um, there's a lot of good medical practitioners who are trying to help folks like me who have biotoxin illness, but they really are still, a lot of them are still missing, the point.